Hi, and welcome to another video. Today I'll be changing the T&P valve on my 50-gallon water heater here. Just recently I've been noticing a little puddle on the outside of the house. On this particular unit, the design is the T&P valve on the top of the unit, and then through some copper piping is expelled through the outside of the house, and then I've been noticing a little puddle on the outside of the house. So after further inspection and looking at the T&P valve, I know for sure that it's time to change it, and I'll show you why in a second. But this house is about 12 years old now. I've been living here for about 5 years, and after really taking a close look at it, I'm pretty sure that that's the original unit from this actual water heater itself. The T&P valve on here currently is a Watts 100XL, so it's got a 3/4 inch male connection into the water heater, and then a female connection that goes to the pipe and then exports it outwards. Now when changing these on some water heaters, you'll see the T&P valve on the side of the unit, say about maybe 6 or so inches from the top, and then just got a straight pipe downward that where it drains out of when that T&P valve is triggered. In those cases, it's a lot easier, where you just unscrew that pipe and then you unscrew the unit itself and then pretty much install the new one right away. This one here is set up a little bit more complicated. All this copper piping is soldered in. I don't really know how to do that, and I don't want to make this particular job my trial run, so I'm going to be using some shark bite connections. What I'm going to do at the top is cut off one of the pipes. That way I can unthread the copper piping from the T&P valve, and I'll show you in a second. Okay, here's just a few things that you'll need to do the job. Again, if you have the setup where the T&P valve is on the side of your water heating unit, all you would really need is just the T&P valve, the brand new one that you're going to replace it with, and then something like this, just a pipe wrench. Because my design is a little bit different, I have to take a few extra steps. So here's some of the things I'm using. Number one, this is the 3/4 inch tubing cutter. It's to cut copper tubing easily, and due to the small space, this really helps too. This is perfect for hard to reach areas, so that's what I'm be using. It offers a burr-free cut, but I still went ahead and purchased a reamer and deburring tool. This reams both the inside and outside edges of the tubing, just in case. So there's the inside, and then there's the outside. And then I also bought this, which is just to brush up the tubing itself after I cut it. I'm sure it's pretty dirty up there, so this is just to give it a nice clean connection. And then this is a shark bite connection that I'm doing. Instead of doing a proper solder, and then also instead of using a compression fitting, I'm using this here. Been reading really good reviews on this, so I'm excited to check it out. This basically, after you make the cut, so you have two separate pieces of copper. You stick one end in here and the other end in here, and then it makes a connection just like that. And then this is also removable too, so if you need to take it off and basically do the same thing, say in the next 5 years of replacing the T&P valve, this would come in handy. There's no need to bust out the propane torch or nothing like that, and then no need to make any extra cuts or anything like that as well. They make a special plastic kind of U-shaped tool. You basically slide it over this, and you push this plastic sleeve in, and that disengages the shark teeth, so you can pull the connection off of the pipe and then basically do the job again. So yeah, that's gonna be it. So after I make the cut, I'm gonna unthread the copper pipe, and then be able to unthread the old T&P valve using a pipe wrench just like this. These have a flat surface on both sides for you to clamp down on, and then unthread or thread, whatever you need to do. And then yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the top of the water heater. Okay, so here's what I'm working with here. This is the copper pipe I was telling you about. So this feeds directly out to the outside of the house, comes here at a 90-degree elbow. Again, soldered connections all the way throughout. Copper pipe, elbow, copper pipe, and then there's the threaded portion here. I mean, kind of doesn't make sense that this is threaded. I mean, you can't thread it since this is soldered on, so it kind of defeats the purpose. So what I'm going to do is make the cut probably here, but I can also make it here as well. But make the cut here using my tool. Ooh, I don't know if I'll have enough space here, so I might have to do it here actually. And then even if I make the cut here, this can still swivel in between this gap here when I unthread this. After I unthread this, that'll let me unthread this. It'll let me turn this. And it's just threaded right into the water heater itself. So I'll actually clean this area first before I get started. And then I'll be able to start the job. The reason why I found out that this was bad, number one, like I said, I saw a little puddle outside. And then after checking it, using this little knob here, you notice it's a little bit weird. Something's not working properly. And then proper inspection, I noticed this isn't even connected to the dang thing. Somewhere down the line, someone snapped this off and just kind of stuck it back on and kind of walked away and didn't really pay attention to it. So, of course, really quickly, the purpose of these, they're a safety measure. So if this tank ever gets beyond 150 psi or 200 degrees Fahrenheit, this will trigger letting out pressure in the hot water out of the house, just so this thing doesn't become basically a ticking time bomb. There's a video, I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. It's by Mythbusters. You know, they did a couple tests and you know, filled this up with high pressure heated water past the regulations of the water heater itself, and pretty much shot up like a rocket. I believe one of them shot up about 500 feet. So I mean, you can imagine this is a 2-story house. This thing would shoot straight up. Above this is the laundry room, and then above that you have the attic and then the roof. It would shoot through all of those layers, no problem. So definitely not a safe thing to not have one of these working properly. So I'm gonna change this out. Yeah, I'll try to film as much as possible and kind of fill you in on what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Okay, so before you start this job, you should actually drain some of the water out of the water heater and pipes. So I have a couple of faucets upstairs, so that the hot water open, and then one actually down here, a bathroom hot faucet open, just to allow it to vent. And then I'm draining just a little bit, pretty much maybe about here. Since this is on the top, I don't really have to worry about doing too far down. And then just bleeding out all the water in the lines, just so I don't get any leakage when I take the T&P valve out. And the way you do that is you just attach a garden hose to the bottom outlet here, and then run that out to, say, a bucket or your driveway or gutter or whatever. And then after you have some lines open, you just loosen the valve here. This is just a flathead, so opens up just like that. And then yeah, just let it drain out a little bit. I'm gonna probably drain about 10 gallons and go from there, see how it works. Pretty sure that should be enough. So yeah, after I'm done with that, I'm gonna get started. So first thing I'm gonna do is gonna clean up the top of that area there. Okay, so in case you're wondering, this is the brand new T&P valve. So as you can see on top, let's see here, it says, let's see, temp, steam, and thermal expansion water rated. So it's 150 psi and 210 degrees Fahrenheit. And again, 3/4 inch. This is a Cash Acme unit here, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's some of the information there. Actually, let me give you the box. Here's the packaging it came in. So you got T&P relief valve, Cash Acme. The part number is 23576-0150, and then of course 3/4 inch yeah, so that's the unit there. Pressure relief 150 psi, temper relief 210 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, the good thing about this too is that it comes with the water kind of sealant for the threads already, so you don't need to wrap that tape around here. I'll probably do that for the threads here on the mouth side. And yeah, just really quick. So this is the lever, nice firm spring, and then not sure if you can see that inside, but it kind of opened the inlet there, so it'll allow the water pressure to come out there, out here, and then out of the house, and then close it, snaps back. So that's how you should check it. I think you're supposed to check it once a year. Just do that, open it up, make sure it closes properly. So you can just exercise that, and you should be in good shape. I believe lifespan on these is about 5 years. So if it's been 5 years since you've done that, you might as well pop a new one in. And yeah, so that's the T&P valve. This down here is basically like a little thermometer. That's what checks the pressure of the water, or the temperature of the water rather. And then, like I said, the flat portions of this, that's where you want to clamp your wrench down. Don't put it anywhere else. Otherwise you risk snapping this thing, and that would be very bad news. So don't do that. Do this. Okay, here's my work area all cleaned up. And then this is the low profile cutter that I purchased, but fortunately it's still not small enough for this little gap here. So I'm gonna make the cut right here, and then this piece is gonna basically unthread. So of course I'm not gonna torque from here. I'm gonna use my wrench on this end here and then unthread it. And then I have just enough clearance for the pipe to rotate in this area here. So let's go ahead and cut this pipe. Okay, so you pretty much just snap this on, just like that, and then there's arrows printed on this tool here on which direction to turn. So just follow that and keep turning until this cuts. And there's the piping too. Not bad, smooth cut, pretty nice. Okay, so here's an update of the situation. This connection here was giving me a real pain, so what I did was basically rotate this, loosen this 45 degrees just so I get a better grip on this with this pipe wrench. My regular wrench just wasn't cutting it, so had to bust out the big dog there, and I was able to loosen this. So loosen this right now. This is already starting to loosen, so once I get this off, I'll be able to probably use this for the rest of it and just get it a little bit looser, and then I'll be able to take it off. And this is what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to work with this as much as I can with whatever space I have. So actually this looks like it's already loose. Might be able to do this by hand. Yeah, no problem. Not sure why this was on there so tight, or if there's just some corrosion or who knows what, but might be a little bit of water dripping out here. That's okay. Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay, you want to see something really bad? Check that out. This, of course, is the T&P valve. You can get an inside view of what happened here exactly. That's just so gummed up that whoever tried to do this put some force on this, snapped this whole thing off, and this is just obviously not even making a good seal. So that's what's going on there. Oh, I can do this by hand. So let me just get a little bit ready there. Slow and steady. Just make sure I don't do anything I don't want to do and regret later. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, that's what it looks like in there. I just blew some dust in there too that I'll have to clean off. Awesome. It's never as easy as you would picture it. Seeing it online, it's always harder than when you actually try it, of course. So here's the old one, this is the new one. Of course, this has a little bit longer thermometer, but the water level always goes to the top here, so even this is fine. Yeah, same connection, so 3/4. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit lower actually than the other one, mainly just on the top, which doesn't matter, but I'm just looking at the connection here. It looks a tad bit lower, 3/4. So I mean, look at the difference in that. It's the new and old, out the old in with the new, right? So nasty. It's probably about 10 years old, I would guess, or maybe even more, judging by the looks of things. It's pretty bad. So, gonna go up there, clean up my mess I made, and then pop this new one in. This is my little kind of elbow joint that will go right in here. And then shark bite that connection. With these, it goes on about 1 inch with the pipe. So take this little cleaner, clean off the edge of that. Looks like this is about 1 inch, so that's gonna be perfect. If you see the cut there, that's the cut that this little auto cutter did. Pretty good stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I believe these this seal's on the outside of the tube, so I don't think I even need to mess with the inside, but might as well just smooth that up just a little bit while I'm at it. Outside is a little bit rough, so I'll smooth that out before I attempt to put that together. With copper, I don't think you need to tape off, but I'm going to put some tape there anyways. For some reason with the stuff that I've done, it usually makes the removal later on a little bit easier, especially with this. This was a cinch to remove, especially since that tape was there. This had no tape, so I'm not sure if that copper to copper connection, along with all that corrosion, was kind of a factor in it being so tight. So I'm going to tape that off. I'll get my pipe tape, you know, same stuff just like this. This looks like a little bit too. Okay, so now that this is all drained out, obviously as much as you need, just make sure that's tight. Channel locks, loosen this up a little bit. Actually, as you can see, this is newer than the actual unit itself. I actually replaced this entire thing just because I was having leaks. The one that used to be on here, it was leaking so bad that I kept trying to tighten it with this, and I guess I don't know my own strength. Snapped this sucker right in half. So, went down to the hardware store. Unfortunately, they don't sell just this piece itself. You have to buy the whole unit. This unit is fine. It was just this that was broken, and then the rubber gasket. So, did that all. I think it was about $6, so worth it. It's really no leaks at all. This takes really no pressure at all just to cinch up, so it's pretty awesome. And $6, get that peace of mind, so might as well. Alright, so on the top here, I'm going to clean up the threads a little bit as much as I can without getting any dirt inside. Water supply, of course. So all I'm going to do is take my paper towel, run it along the threads in an outward motion, and try to get out whatever I can. The new T&P valve ready for insertion. Of course, it's got the plumber's kind of sealant. That's not really a tape, it's more of a sealant, more of a coating. So I'm just gonna thread this on, and then of course it's got to be angled to the left as it was before. So I'm trying to engage with the flat spots as I spoke about before. And one more time. Not really much space to work with here. Okay, that looks good right there. Test it. Snaps back. Awesome. Okay, so from here, there's my pipe to the outside. Okay, get my shark bite here. I'm going to clean up that pipe first. I'll start with this, get that shark bite on there, and then I'll do the other end. So this is what that little spacer looks like. On Shark Bite's website, it says that, you know, this is pretty much recommended to take this out anytime you use copper, but not required. I'm going to take it out anyway since it said it was recommended. So there's one. The next one. So what I did wrong last time, you got to pull that past the rubber O-ring once it's on the teeth. Once you get there, try to center it as best as you can. Take your little tool here, try to squeeze. Get that out there. There it is. Trash. So there's the shark bite. Fresh, ready to go. And now I'm gonna clean my pipes. So I got this tool here. I'm just gonna burr the outer edge. So let me start with this one here while I have it off. Tape off. Okay, so there it is there. That's what that looks like. It's basically a wire brush that surrounds the tube itself. You want to get the right size for the right diameter tube. This is 3/4, so that's what I have. Kind of twist it on there. Do a couple turns. There it is, all shined up. I have this tool that'll get the actual corners of it just to get it nice and smooth. And that's pretty much two one of these. A bit more. Pretty nice. Just get a clean cloth and wipe that off. You do not want to touch this with any, your fingers don't get any grease on it or anything like that. Just a clean towel. If you can see how good of an edge that made. It's pretty nice. So while I have this here, I'm actually gonna put this one up first, just so I don't risk touching it. So this is how easy a shark bite fitting is. Get the pipe, get your shark bite, snap it on. Actually, you should measure 1 inch, that's about 1 inch there. Shark bite, copper pipe, slide it on, done. That's sealed up, ready to go. And you can also rotate this if you need to. So it looks like on the inside, you can see the copper pipe all the way into the edge where it needs to be. And then, yeah, once I get the other end in there, it'll basically be seamless. So when you're tightening it, you want to do this clockwise. So I'm really only going to put one little thin layer on this. Maybe overlap it just a little bit, just so it bonds to itself. And then there we go. There it is, ready for installation. Okay, so one quick update. pretty much all done. I have the cold water turned back on. That's already closed up on the bottom, so it's not draining out. Pressure relief is shut off. I did test this earlier and it did work, so it's shut off right now. Nothing come out of the drain. No leaks coming out of the threads, which is a good sign. That's definitely something you want to check out. I did have leaks earlier, so I pretty much had to undo this entire thing and take that off and then turn that around 1 revolution. So now that that's all squared away, I'm gonna reconnect this one more time and then just pretty much put this back on and then turn the gas back on and fire this bad boy up. As you can see, 0 leaks. So inlet, water heater, there's the T&P valve, outlet. It looks like everything is good to go. I ran into probably about 3 major hiccups here, so when you do this, keep in mind that things do go wrong sometimes, and if they do go wrong, don't let that discourage you. Try to find out the root of the problem and go from there and fix it. And if you're like me, keep at it, don't give up, and you'll get there. So that was how to replace your T&P valve on your water heater. It is now about 1:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna finish this up and get to bed. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.